Yes, hello and welcome to the grand final edition of With All Due Respect. As always, brought to you by the Oracle Village Sports Store, Balmain. That is right, grand final week.
Exciting stuff.
Two teams remain, the two best teams across the regular season. It sets up for a cracking clash, doesn't it, Daniel?
It'll be one of the best grand finals in the past 5 years.
That's what it's looking
Easily.
like. It's looking likely. It's looking likely. Let's get straight into the headlines, Daniel. Did you want to kick us off this week? Let's go.
Yeah, I'll kick us off. Let's talk about the Warriors-Broncos game.
Yep.
Now, obviously last week, our biggest point going to this game last week was that the Warriors need to start well.
Yep.
They needed to start fast.
They did.
They needed to start with energy. They needed to catch Broncos off guard, which they did. But it doesn't really matter if you can't finish the job. That's my biggest takeaway from this game. Look, the Warriors came out, scored, in the fifth minute or something like that? But that momentum they had was just slowly but surely just deteriorating due to the way the Broncos were playing.
Yeah,
And
a fresh Broncos side.
And eventually the Broncos just took advantage, and that's how the eventual, look, I don't want to say smashing, but
Close to.
almost.
The controversial forward pass, Daniel.
Yes,
The Reece Walsh.
ridiculous.
The Reece Walsh forward pass. I don't know how you missed that. But I think Gordon Tallis or someone might have said it on 360 is that the touchies just aren't quick enough to keep up with Walsh.
But
the touchy couldn't make that call because he wasn't fast enough.
But I think it's not even the touchy; it's the referee who's in the middle of the field, in front of the play. He was.
Yep.
Yeah. Reece Walsh. You see where Reece Walsh throws the ball, was it Selwyn Cobbo that caught it?
Correct.
If Selwyn Cobbo is catching it in front of where it was thrown, surely you blow the whistle.
I don't think people are emphasizing how bad this call was, because I know at the time the Broncos were looking to run away with it, but the score was 24-12 at the time. And if that Broncos forward pass was picked up, the Warriors would have a scrum, centre field, 50 out from the line, an attacking opportunity. Imagine they score, Daniel. It's 24-18. They convert. And if they convert all their goals, they scored 3 tries. They didn't convert one goal.
They missed them all.
So if they converted all their goals, we could have been potentially looking at a 24 scoreline with 20 to go.
I think Jared Sutton would be very appreciative that the Warriors didn't kick all their goals, because if that forward pass was let through and they scored a 24-18, he may have been out of a job.
Well, that's the mean. Like, we've lost probably arguably the second best ref in the comp, Jared Sutton. The best ref, Ashley Klein. They've both had terrible games leading into a grand final. I wonder who will officiate the big dance.
I think I'm hearing rumors that it's going to be Adam G.
It's
Adam G. And I think Adam G will do a great job.
No, well, he didn't do a very good job on Saturday night, Daniel. The Melbourne Storm, Friday night, sorry. The Storm embarrassed.
Yeah, Melbourne were. You know what I've got written down? Melbourne were really, really, really bad.
Attending the game, I had a sense of belief, Daniel, but the end score line isn't something that shocked me. I thought it would happen, but I didn't want to believe it would happen. We ended up getting smoked in a shocking display, but you have to give credit where credit's due. Penrith didn't make an error in the first 60 till the 60th minute of the match. Now, if that's not impossible to beat, I don't know what is. I compare it to like when you're playing FIFA against a great opponent, and from the get-go, from kickoff, you just know you're going to lose. He does a certain skill move, makes a certain run. You just know you're going to lose.
I've got written down, like, Penrith's performance was domination throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
Look, when Olam scored for Melbourne to make it 4-4, I was like, surely not.
Exactly.
Surely not. And look, I was right in saying surely not. But it was domination, and it showed why Penrith will win the comp. It showed why they'll win the comp, and it showed why they'll three-peat. Look, I just want to ask you a quick question. Penrith next year, if Penrith in the comp this year, is a four-peat impossible?
Yeah, I think it's impossible. It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely. I mean, they lose Crichton. That centre position is... You see what Crichton does for them.
Crichton's going, but you've got...
Alamotti's coming in.
Alamotti and...
Taruva's Taylor May's coming back.
Taylor May, that's what I'm thinking of. Thank you. Taylor May's coming back. Look, they have a great next man up mentality, and if anyone's going to shine in that Penrith system, it's Paul Alamotti.
But the thing is, Daniel, other teams will get better too. I think the Broncos will be better no matter the result come Sunday. Next year, they'll be a lot better. a lot of teams will be a lot better. But
I just don't think you can cross them out next year if they win this year as well.
like I said, it took them 60 minutes to make an error. Trent Liero, terrible performance. Played every game of the year, and to put up that in the last game was quite disappointing to see. Nick Meaney, I thought he didn't play his best game. Looked lost in the big moments. But if I'm looking at this season as a whole, many said at the start of the year this was a rebuild year for the Storm, losing over 800 games of experience. Kenny Bromwich, the Bromwich boys, Carl Fusi, Pappenhausen's out for the year. Basically, sad times. But if you're making a preliminary final and having a top 4 finish in a rebuild year, I mean, that's a pretty good rebuild year. I mean, the Tigers have been rebuilding for the last 15 years. But they have. They have.
Well, the Tigers don't start a rebuild with Cameron Munster and Ryan Pappenhausen and Jerome Hughes and Harry Grant, do they?
Daniel,
it's just not.
Across 15 years, you think you'd pick up something.
It is not a rebuild year.
You've had Pappenhausen.
All you've done is you've just gotten a bit worse.
You've had
It's not a rebuild year.
You've had Harry
It's not a rebuild year. It's not a rebuild year.
Well, that's what many said. That's what many pundits said at the start of the year.
No one's calling it a rebuild year for Melbourne.
Daniel, people didn't have Melbourne.
You're not rebuilding.
People didn't have Melbourne in their top 8.
Who?
Lots of people I've
Idiots.
seen on socials. But then again, another compliment I can give on this year's is that Friday's loss isn't looked as a preliminary final made. It's looked as a grand final missed out upon. So that's like seriously, it's a very good season for the Storm. But Friday night,
You're clutching at straws there. It's not a rebuild.
But that's what because I'm not. People were saying that at the start of the year, Daniel. That's my point.
But how can you start a rebuild with the best 5'8" and one of the best hookers in the comp? How does that constitute a rebuild?
Because we've lost 800 games of experience, Daniel. We lost 800 games of experience.
And we had
Nick
it's not
Meaney,
a
a
rebuild.
fullback.
It is not a rebuild.
I didn't say it's a rebuild.
But that's what you're saying. Oh, it was great.
People were saying that.
But you're saying it's great for a rebuild season.
Well, that's what I'm saying in reaction to what they're saying.
But it's not a rebuild.
Well, what is it?
You've done realistically you've just gotten worse.
So at the start of the year, would you say before the kickoff of round 1, would you say that Storm would be a top 4 side? With no Pappenhausen?
Yes. Who would be in there instead of them? Not Cronulla.
At the start of the year.
Not Cronulla.
At the start of the year.
Yes. Okay. Well, here we go.
Said
Give me your top 4. Yeah, put South in instead.
South, Manly, Cowboys. They finished top 4 last year.
Manly.
Daniel, it was a fully fit Manly side at the start of the year.
See, this is where the casuals come out thinking the Cowboys were actually going to succeed this year.
Anyway, Daniel, that's all from me from the Storm game. Now we move on to the grand final. Wow. It's going to be a cracking clash. Sets up a massive game between two very well-matched sides, both in the forward pack and the backs. News just come out this morning that Herbie Farnworth has left training with a hamstring complaint.
He'll be fine.
I don't know who will replace him if they do.
He'll be sweet.
If he does need replacing, but gee, that'd be a massive loss. Everyone in the country is going for Brisbane, including me. Obviously, if you're not a Penrith
but
Panthers
should you
fan.
not be going for Penrith? Don't you want the team that smoked you to win the
I don't like
comp?
Penrith. I dislike Penrith immensely. But at the same time, I do dislike Brisbane immensely because, Daniel, this final series, we have lost to both sides.
Sure.
So, obviously, a draw would be a great result. But I hope Brisbane win. No one likes the same team winning every year.
That's true. It's like 2020, everyone was like, oh, when Penrith played Melbourne, I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind seeing Penrith win. Fast forward 3 years.
Times change.
You want them to get beat.
Yep. If Penrith win, Daniel, 3 premierships in a row, are they the greatest team we have seen in the modern era?
Easily. Who would be better? Since in the NRL era, you're saying?
Yes.
No one's better.
Are we looking at greatest organisation? Yes. In the last
It's crazy when you see it. In 2019, if you got told at the start of 2019, or even at the end of the 2019 season, Penrith, who didn't even make the finals 2019, Penrith will be in the next 4 grand finals. You tell whoever told you that they are dumb.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe them. It's crazy to see how quick that changes happen.
Yeah.
And look, they probably should have already had the 3-peat. Realistically, 2020 was theirs to win.
Yeah. They were the favourites.
But yeah, I don't see anyone that's been better.
So yes, the greatest club in the last of the modern era, correct? Era. But is this the best team, position by position,
I would say
that you've ever seen?
I would say last year was better.
Okay.
Because you've got Kikau
Good kicks.
in there, you've got Coruscant in there. It's just last year was a bit better, but still, in terms of the team that's been held together,
Yeah.
it is the best.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I agree.
I think last year's side would beat this year's side.
What about the 2017 Melbourne Storm side? Slater,
2017.
Smith, Cronk,
The one that beat the 8th place Cowboys in the grand final.
dominated them. Cronk, Smith. Like I think there's a conversation there, but we won't get into it. But yeah, greatest club come NRL era, but the best team. I think there are some better, including the one from last year.
Last year
Position
would
by
beat this
position.
team.
Anything else from you?
For the grand final?
Yeah.
I want. So let's go through who we got winning. Who have you got winning? Obviously,
I think Brisbane win. I think Brisbane win.
Score?
I think it's gonna be low scoring. Maybe it'd be unders. It'd be the unders. I'll go. I always like to put a field goal in there, but I won't. I'll go 20 points to 12.
I've got Penrith win 22-12.
Okay.
But look, Penrith win 22-12, but I'm predicting that at half time it'll be level.
That's a really good prediction.
Half time will be level.
Level, like scoreline.
Okay. Level.
Yeah, cool.
So the second half, Brisbane will sort of
Choke.
not choke, crumble.
Okay.
We'll use the word crumble. We'll use the word struggle.
Yep.
We'll use the word. I think they'll be outclassed. Penrith have been there, done that. You know what I mean? And then who have you got winning the Clive Churchill? I've got a real smoky for Clive Churchill.
If Brisbane win, the Clive will go to I think Payne Haas because I think he'll have the game of his life. If Penrith win, I'd love to see Dylan Edwards get it back-to-back Clives.
I've got. I think a sleeper for it is potentially Stephen Crichton.
Could do.
Stephen Crichton, I can just see him. You know, the score's 16-12, 10 minutes left. According to my prediction, Stephen Crichton, we could see flashbacks to 2021. A somewhat full field try to put the dagger into Brisbane.
Yes.
I'm saying it may happen again.
Okay.
And that's going to win him that medal.
Look, I saw a stat that Dylan Edwards would be one of the first to win back-to-back.
I think there's only like three others.
Only three others to win back-to-back Clives. But I tell you what, Nathan Cleary needs a Clive. Has he got a Clive?
Yes, he's got 21.
Oh, yeah, he does. Disregard that comment. But yeah, no. In relation to the Payne Haas call, like I think, I dead set think that he has the game of his life, especially going up against Fisher Harris and Leota. There is an argument to say that the Brisbane forward pack is better.
It's not even, you can't just put on Payne Haas. It's on all of them. Carrigan's got to perform, Flegler as well. But
Ricky, you know.
Yes.
Capewell.
Grand final, everyone's got to perform. Interesting enough, Kurt Capewell's playing in his first grand final since he was with Penrith.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But look, I think Penrith get the three-peat done. I think that they, like you said before, if a team doesn't have an error till the 60th minute, you are not beating them. And if Penrith imagine they don't have an error in the first half this week. Even then, that it will be a dominant performance.
That's what I think. If Brisbane can somewhat stay in it and they do go on that run without an error, say 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes without an error, if Brisbane stay in it, I think they have the players and the personnel to break the game open. I think just all they need is one play, and they have a lot of players in that team that could make that one play.
I think it's exactly like last week we said with the Warriors. They're going to have to start well, Brisbane, but they're going to have to maintain that momentum throughout the whole game, because if you start well against Penrith, it doesn't matter. It only matters if you start well because you don't want to start shit.
Exactly.
It doesn't really mean anything, but they're just going to have to play literally the game of their lives. And look, I think Adam Reynolds will be doing a lot of goal kicking this week after the 2021, obviously missing the game-tying field goal, sideline kick. So look, there's going to be a lot of preparation there. And look, they should have a lot of motivation in wanting to stop the three-peat.
Yep. Okay, let's move on to That's Not Ridiculous.
That's not
where
ridiculous to say
this
that.
week we're going to go through, obviously, the Dally M's is on Wednesday night. This will be out before you see that, so hopefully our predictions are correct. Daniel, Dally M night, the night of Knights Rugby League, Coach of the Year. Who have you got for Coach of the Year?
This was tough, but I've gone with Andrew Webster.
Yeah, I don't think it's close.
I did think about Kevin Walters, because taking that team from not making the finals, probably the biggest choke job in recent history last year, to
young squad,
pretty much look. They lost the minor premiership on point differential.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big increase, but I think they will give it to Andrew Webster because they want the Warriors to win something, and I think it is an achievement coming into your first season at the club. Sean, what he's gotten out of Sean Johnson, what he's got out of players like Nickel Clockstad, Dylan Walker, Tamara Martin, a lot. It's like these players that were considered to be past their best that have been brought back. That's what will get him over the line.
I've got Andrew Webster as well for Coach of the Year. In your comments saying that the Warriors, they'll want the Warriors to win something, I think the Dally M medal will be Sean Johnson as well.
Yeah, I've got that.
So I think they've got that Warriors aspect covered. He's had an incredible year. He's led the side every week, and they talk about most valuable player. He is the most valuable player in the NRL. If you take him out of that squad, if you take Sean Johnson out of that Warriors team, perhaps they're not even top 8 squad. They mightn't even make the top 8 without Sean Johnson.
Yeah, he will win every game they've won. He's getting at least 2 points
minimum
this
minimum
season.
Rookie of the Year, Daniel.
If you don't have what I've got, there's going to be serious issues.
I think we've got serious issues.
I've got Jareen Buller.
Yeah, I've got William Warbrick.
Will Warbrick is going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to put money on it? Let's make a bet right now.
Daniel,
Let's make a bet right
Will
now.
Warbrick this year, 25 games, 17 tries on the wing for the Storm in a rebuild year. Jareen Buller, how many games did he play? Let's have a look. 18 games, 5 tries, 7 try assists.
Yeah, but
what a year. What a year.
Is Jareen Buller playing on the wing catching kicks?
Daniel.
No, he's not. You can't.
Who is the
You're
better player?
basing the Rookie of the Year. Jareen Buller is a better player than Will Warbrick.
No. This is what
You
you're
are
wrong.
basing the Rookie of the Year off how many tries they've scored.
Well, what else are you going to base it off?
This isn't under sevens, mate.
What else?
This
what
isn't
else
under
is,
sevens.
So what else?
Impact on the team performance. I don't know if
Team performance?
impact
You
on the
came
team.
last.
No, I said impact on the team.
Yeah.
Like individual performance, separate things there.
Yeah, so
I don't know if you saw during the week, Jareen Buller has already won the Players Association Rookie of the Year. Have you seen that?
So
Look, if that's not an indicator of who's going to win it, I think it's Jareen Buller up here, everyone else.
No, but he doesn't.
Seriously.
So you're saying, what has he impacted performance-wise? Like, what's the impact he's
Jareen Buller has been the only good thing about the Tigers this year.
Yeah, I understand that, but he's not as good enough as Will Warbrick.
But if you put Dom Young on Will Warbrick's wing, is he going to do what Will Warbrick did?
Probably more so. But
Exactly.
it doesn't matter. That's not the
All
point
you
I'm
have
making.
to do is jump up and catch
That's
it.
not- There's a lot.
All you have to do is jump up and catch it.
There's a lot of technicalities
Jareen
involved in
Buller
that.
is thrown into this side
Yep.
in a desperate time,
Yep.
and he has been the best player.
Yep, he scored 5 tries and had 7 tries. Yep, congratulations.
But if you
Seriously.
if you want to talk about numbers, you're going to talk about tries. How many try assists did Will Warbrick have?
It doesn't matter. It's
So
more than
why doesn't it matter?
17 tries.
Why doesn't it matter?
Different positions.
What? Yes,
17
so
tries.
don't tell me about
the
tries.
kid has never played rugby league in
Don't
his
tell
life.
me about tries.
Will Warbrick, it's his first year in rugby league.
And what was he playing before?
Union.
Exactly. You know what Jareen Buller was playing before rugby league? Basketball.
Well, Daniel, like you said with the Warriors, I probably want to give the Tigers some type of award, so maybe he will get it. But I think Will
Jareen
Warbrick deserves it more.
Jareen Buller will be he is a shoo-in for it. I would say, look, the way that they do these votes, I would say that Taruva has a better chance than Warbrick at winning it. Joel, I can't wait. I can guarantee Jareen Buller will win it.
But he's not even that. He didn't even have that good of a year,
You got
Daniel.
to look at the team he's on.
I know, but so exactly, if you're a shit, you shouldn't get the benefits, the rewards.
It's about individual performance.
5 tries in 18 appearances.
But you're telling me tries doesn't matter.
They add up.
But and then when I say about try
what
assists,
else?
when I say about try assists, it
7.
doesn't matter.
7.
Yeah, how many did Warbrick have?
0.
Yeah, so why are you talking about that?
You've had 12 scoring involvements during Buller to Will Warbrick 17.
Oh my God. But
What
it's
other
about-
stat has Jareen Buller got that makes him better than
Jareen
Will
Buller,
Warbrick?
Jareen Buller would have had the best, he is the best player on the Tigers, and it's not because the Tigers are shit. The Tigers have Api Coruscant, and Jareen Buller played better.
No, I wouldn't say he played better than Api.
Well, he won the player of the year, mate. He won the player of the year. And Jareen Buller
They just want to keep him.
Jareen Buller on Wednesday will win Rookie of the Year, and you will be eating your words there.
It's just a ploy to keep him, Daniel. It's just
Will
a ploy to keep
Warbrick
him.
is just, he is making up the numbers.
He's not making
He
up
is
the numbers.
making up the numbers.
No, he's not.
He is. Jareem has
So
it
who else?
on
Who else would you
lock.
have?
I'm not saying I'd have anyone else. I'm saying it's
That's
Jareem
what I
and then
thought.
everybody else below them.
No, impossible.
Jareem Buller will. It's guaranteed.
Okay.
Jareen Ball already probably knows he's getting it. They've probably already told him. It is that guaranteed he will get it.
The team run last, Daniel. The team run last.
But it's not team of the year, mate. It's rookie of the year.
Okay, yeah, we'll
rookie
see.
of the year.
We'll see. All right, well, what have we got for the JDS3 this week, Daniel?
This week's JS3 is... Look, NRL fair, but look, I've gone with in the lighter grand final, I've gone with the top 3 best grand finals since 2010. Because look, before that, I can't really say I remember watching them.
And at number 3, let's get straight into it. Manly versus Sydney in 2013. Now look, this was just a great game of rugby league. After a penalty try to Manly, they had all the momentum coming out of half time. With this momentum, they scored again to make the score 18-8. With 25 minutes left, look, the game looked over. That Manly were dominating until W.A.D.R goes over for Sydney, starting the Chooks comeback, resulting in the Roosters winning 26 points to 18. Sonny Bill Williams, 1 year, 1 ring. James Maloney ring as well. Look, there was some stars in there. Aiden Guerra as well. Boyd Cordner, people forget about. At number 2, 2016, Cronulla versus Melbourne. Cronulla's first comp. How could you forget? Look, 14-12, it's storybook stuff. Melbourne looked like they were going to steal it at the death, but I think it was Suliasi Vunivalu or Marika Korobidi did not pass the ball to an open Cooper Cronk, who was under the sticks for Melbourne to win. Cronulla win their first comp 14-12 against the big 3 of Melbourne. Could you get any better than that? At number 1, look, you could have, anyone's going to guess this one. It's 2015, North Queensland versus Brisbane, the Queensland Derby. Sorry to the Gold Coast Titans, but you're not in that. This one was obvious to be number 1. Last second equaliser from Kyle Felt. Bit of Michael Morgan magic down the right edge. Thurston sideline kick to win it. Hits the post. Like it's like someone has written this in a script and put it onto the field. And then obviously Ben Hunt with the most heartbreaking moment of possibly in NRL history, where he drops the kickoff in extra time, allowing the Cowboys to get the ball about 10 metres out. Thurston slots the field goal and wins North Queensland their premiership.
2015, Daniel, what a year to be a Cowboys fan or a Queensland Rugby League fan in general. One of the great grand finals. Maybe this week we'll top that. You never know. We could get a repeat. Anyway, that's the end of another episode of With All Due Respect. Grand final week. It's a great week. Enjoy if you're a Brisbane fan. Enjoy if you're a Penrith fan. We will see you later. Go Broncos.
I'm going to say go Panthers.
Go Broncos.
I'm going to say go Panthers.
Go Broncos.
I'm going for the Panthers.